Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Welcome, Leo, to Channel Future Tarot. My name is Bella. Today we're going to do your Heartbreak Harmony spread, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs of Leo. Take what resonates with you, toss the universe what does not. It's not meant for you, and that's okay. Check the other placements and the readings that go along with that to get some more guidance if you don't find it here. Take that deep breath in, Leo, and exhale whenever you feel so inclined to do so. Peace, love, health, and wealth. I hope you're all well and doing well. Made it through that full moon in Capricorn, so positive stuff. I hope you did a lot of releasing rituals, ways to symbolize that. Get away all that negative energy. Set your intentions for the upcoming new moon that is coming. We're going to take out the heartbreak to healing to heartbreak spread. And we're going to first, we'll take a look at the oracle cards that I did draw for the end of the reading. But in the meantime, we're going to look at your overall energy, as well as some oracle messages that I pulled in meditation. And then we'll jump into the tarot, okay? So, yeah, let's get started. Your overall energy for the major arcana was the Lover's card. So that is a powerful sense of, I want to say union, but for you in the recent past, I think this was a decision, a marker, a pinnacle point for you, something that changed. And the reason I say that, because the next cards that came out were trust, right? And immediately Spirit kept saying to me, was broken for some of you. And I feel like we are dealing with a heartbreak energy, right? So that's, stay optimistic about your love life came in as well. Positive thinking is going to help be the best way to heal through yourself through this heartbreak. Of course, find that inner harmony. We got 44, getting to know each other, learn to meet each other's needs for love. And I feel like right away that kind of was the indicator for me that maybe, we often rush into relationships, feeling like the glory, the lust is all there, and we get into it and we start to uncover little things, or those little red flags that come out in the getting to know each other process. And I feel like that was something maybe that I feel like looking back, maybe ignored some of those red flags because you just wanted something to be. We've all been there. And you're kind of looking back now at those pinnacle points where things were obviously not what you felt was like that true love, this love that lasts once in a lifetime. It made you feel like that. I really feel like and I always say when you're in love, you never feel like it's going to be, you're never looking for your next love, right? So as often, of course it feels like it's going to be the last person. That's what it's supposed to feel like. But as I feel like the rug got pulled quite fast, there was a huge energy of something losing its sort of glee, its spark. All that glitters was definitely not gold in that sense. We're going to take a look at the ashes, the foundation of the pain, Leo, and then we'll break it down, other kind of in-depth questions. We'll clarify any cards we need to, and then we'll take a look at the healing cards at the end. It's coming in for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs of Leo. Take a look at the ashes, the foundation of the pain for Leo, please. The Eight of Swords, okay. But this is, restriction of your own making, like juggling the way through. You don't have to necessarily, you can just get down and walk your way through. I feel like this is a sense of you taking you took the hard route, right? There were so many red flags, but you kept navigating through them instead of just cutting and running and walking away. That is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. We'll take a look at the spark, your inner resilience is here for Leo, please. This is going to be what your inherent strength was, the capacity sort of for healing that you have. Spark that inner resilience for Leo. Yeah, the devil. Devil's in the details for some of you, but this is what the inner resilience was, really. You releasing the bind, the chains that bound you to this sort of person, place, or thing, the person that just kind of was not all that they presented. So as you kind of release the restriction from yourself and start to realize that, you know, the details of this person, the breakdown of what they were really representing, I feel like that started to become your inner resilience, the strength, right, to get up, dust yourself off, and move along. You're quite good at that as a zodiac sign, right? You're very resilient, you're powerfully determined. I want to take a look at what the smoke is, the lingering fears or doubts that could be here coming, the sort of remaining insecurities that, you know, anxieties that come, that could be caught in your judgment in terms of going forward, in terms of love. You may not be ready, but, you know, we all have those things that keep us a little bit jaded, right? We got the Maiden of Wands. That's okay, that being naive, right? You have that innocence for love. That is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But there's that innocence for spontaneity, courageousness. And I feel like for a while, you almost thought that was your sort of, your weakness, that being naive. And you know what? It isn't, because, you know, a good manipulator is going to manipulate the best of us, right? So it doesn't really matter so much. You can't hate on yourself for believing the manipulator, right? Or not seeing things how they were. This person played on more than just your ability to see a player for a player. They played on your heart, right? And, you know, that's the worst kind, right? Because they use, you know, your ability to love and care about the fake version of them to a degree, right? We'll take a look at what the Ember is, the lessons that you learned here, what crucial lessons that you've gained from this heartbreak, or, you know, should have gained from this heartbreak, right? That's Four of Pentacles, foundations, that will to keep the foundations, your desire for that, you know, white picket fence, that hard, you know, structure, that commitment, you know, that, you know, engagement, the family life. That was essentially, I feel like, the lessons, you know, the breakdown of that. You wanted it so much it almost became its destruction, right? Because you wanted it so much to your own detriment, right? You sort of didn't want to see the flags for the flags, or, you know, because it's hard to see that, right? But once you understand that, you know, sometimes our wants so much for something actually is completely clouding the big smoldering pile of dung that's sitting there, right? Take a look at the wings, the new possibilities here. This is going to signify, you know, your readiness to open up yourself to anybody at this point. We've got the World card coming out in reverse. This is you resisting completion, resisting this transformation, not allowing yourself to let the cycle complete and be gone. It served its purpose, and this relationship has served its purpose. There is no more, you know, recycling back forward, right? That will just put you back in a sense of restriction. You're not going to gain a lot out of redoing that path, right? We'll take a look at the current romantic energy, the sort of ascension process that you have here. You probably is nil for some of you at this point. We've got the Hermit in reverse, isolation. You've been isolating probably a little bit too much. It's good to get some introspection, do the healing and stuff, but you've got yourself in a period of isolation where you're in a little bit of a funk, right? You got to get out there. You got to get, you know, back on the horse, so to speak, but you got to get out there. Even if it's not to date, it's just get out there with your friends, family, and, you know, don't keep yourself so isolated that it will just sort of lead to depression sometimes. If you've got those negative tendencies, you've done some healing. Get out there. It's beautiful summertime. Take a look at the guiding star here, the path forward for you in love is the King of Swords. I like that for you, whether you're masculine or feminine, sitting on your throne there. That is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but this is you owning your authenticity. This is you being at the top of your game and intellectually, you know, on just, you know, calling on that energy. You're like, you're going to be magnetizing, very charismatic. People are going to be drawn to you through this period. It's a very positive energy. We're going to look at the new dawn for you, Leo. What is the new dawn, the potential outcome for you? we have the Fool card, that naive. It's a great thing. This is that leap of faith, taking that risk, being open to take it, even though you're coming out of heartbreak, even though you're jaded, a little hurt, you still have that ability to open up yourself and love again. This isn't the end all be all, right? Being the Pentacles on the bottom of the deck as well as the Justice card in reverse. There is a balance that needs to be settled here, the Five of Swords as well, the conflict, but you're looking for closure in something that's not going to offer it to you, right? This person doesn't have anything to say differently than what they brought to the table last time, I don't think, and I feel like you'll be very disappointed if you try to get a different result from this energy. We're going to take a look at, we're going to clarify that Eight of Swords energy, please. Can I clarify that Eight of Swords for Leo, please? Let's clarify that Eight of Swords for Leo, please. Look at that, the World card, that you got the World card underneath the Eight of Swords originally, right? In reverse, because resisting that completion. Now you got the World card to clarify that Eight of Swords. You got to complete whatever was in this restriction for you. Let the cycle die out. The Page of Wands. You are kind of standing up for yourself, yeah, more and more. But in a sense where you've been so, you know, restricted and sort of on guard and this cycle's not yet completed. Queen of Pentacles on the top, you know, as well. This is you owning your shit, you're protecting your money, getting back on your throne, back on top of your game, working hard through the, you know, focus on work. Sometimes that's the best way forward, right? The Devil card, let's clarify that Devil card for you. Clarify that Devil card for Leo. Yeah, that Four Swords in reverse. Sleepless nights. You're moving from it though. I feel like you're getting closure here. So you're no longer going to sit in that anxiety of this, allowing this person, place, or thing to deeply affect the way you sleep, your anxiety over this. Let this closure happen. You got that Ace of Swords. You're drawing your line in the sand. Win or lose. You're like, man, there's opportunity elsewhere and I'm done. You don't have this. You see the details there, that Five of Swords, stabbing, backstabbing, lying, cheating, you know, stealing energy that just never ever brought anything good, but always masked itself as that, you know, pretty little pony, as a can't do it, you just want devilish thing. Clarifying that Four of Pentacles in reverse. The lessons that you learned here. Again, I really feel like this is that wanting so much of, you know, that perfect relationship, that perfect life, that you kind of ignored the flags, right? The Fool card in reverse, and you got the Fool card underneath it. You took the leap of faith, but on the wrong damn thing, right? The wrong person. And that's kept you kind of jaded. You thought it was, whoa, there's that card, 10 Pentacles went flying there. That is your white picket fence, your endings and new beginnings, because once you allow this closure that you thought was your white picket fence to happen, you're going to get just that white picket fence, that leap of faith, that Two of Wands moment. Don't resist the new. Don't resist the possibility that's right in front of you. There's a choice that's happening here and it's yours to take. You got to take it. Temperance on the bottom of the deck. Sagittarius, balancing the, you know, energies. The Magician as well in reverse. The Ace of Cups. New love is going to come in for you as you start to manifest, you know, the positive energies and allow it. What you think about, you bring about, right? So if you're going to continue in that hurt energy, you're going to bring in hurt energy. So make sure what you're putting out there is, you know, positive and uplifting stuff. All right, so let's take a look at those two cards that we got for you out of the Oracle Healing deck. We'll read the passages from the book. The Queen. Here, number 5 coming out for you. Quite a beautiful card. I don't know if you can see. We'll see if we can put her there. There we go. Passages are quite short. A sacred task exists for you to fulfill. It is to be found through connection to your heart. Be open only to those moments, most authentic teachings which prove helpful to your continued spiritual progress and personal freedom. Cleansing your body, mind, and heart and soul will be a particular benefit at this time. Powerful subtle energies are helping ensure your success. Believe that many positive synchronicities and expected allies will rally to support you. And 39, Ivory, Wish Fulfilling Crow. I like that. That's a positive. Everybody's like, no. Pardon me. Okay. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping control, and have doubt. Have confidence that the universe bears and hears your prayers and is even now leading you into what you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there's always a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. Don't forget that, Leo. Get out there, move through the heartbreak in the best way you know how, but don't restrict yourself in that process of isolation and negativity. You have to stay optimistic through it. You can't be jaded, hoping that, some white knight or some princess is going to come knocking on your door and rescuing you from the pain, right? You got to do the healing and you got to feel through the healing, unfortunately. You got to feel it to heal it. That's just the way it is. So get through it. You'll be fine, even though the moment seems painful. And this isn't the end all be all. And your greatest love story is yet to come. So check it out. Till next time, my friends. Namaste.